Hi, my name's Alistair Gill, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to a new tool that I think you're going to love. It's called Google Data Studio. So what is Google Data Studio? It's built on the Google Drive platform actually, so if you use Google Docs or Google Sheets, which I'm sure many of you do, you're going to feel right at home. The interface is very familiar, but you start off with a blank canvas, and then there's tools that allow you to build these dashboards very easily, sort of drag and drop. If you've ever used Microsoft Visio, it reminds me of that. You can kind of pull tools in, resize them, arrange them how you want. You know, the creative designers amongst you are going to love it because you can just, customize it to your heart's content. So there's a lot of ability in there that kind of isn't in Google Analytics. It's going to let you customize it and make it look exactly how you want. And more importantly, it's going to make you want to check it. I know a lot of people are kind of a bit meh, about Google Analytics. It doesn't, inspire them to go and check it. But having a customized dashboard, a report that you've built yourself, it's got all the important information about your business. It's updating itself, it's live, it's real time, it's interactive. What more can you ask for? So who do I think will like this? Well, first of all, if you're a freelancer and you're running your own business, this is going to be a great tool for you, especially in the early stages. A lot of us tend to look up to the influencers online and we see that they've got a team around them that's doing all these different tasks, and we kind of feel like we need to be doing the same. But sometimes, we can't afford to hire a person to do a task. So, if you're in a position where you want someone to help with Google Analytics, but maybe you can't afford to hire that person just yet, then this would be great for you, because once you've set it up, there really isn't that much extra work. It's just a case of checking it once a week, once a month, however often, and it will update itself for you, and all the key information you need will be there. So it's a good introduction for freelancers who aren't yet ready to hire someone to help with this. I also think this would be great for VAs. If you're a virtual assistant and you're performing work for clients, this would be a great way to report back on what you've done, some of the metrics you've influenced, whether you've grown their traffic, their social media, their YouTube, whatever it might be that you're working on. This is a great way to report that back to your clients and show how much value you're adding to their business. Obviously, video is massive right now, and because Google owns YouTube, one of the nice things about Data Studio is that your YouTube data is easy to access within the Data Studio tool. So there's even a template, so you don't even need to do too much work. Just download the template, change the data source to your YouTube channel, and then you've got a ready built dashboard showing your top videos, likes, subscribes, comments, all of that stuff. And then alongside that, you can have your Google Analytics, Google Adwords, other data sources as well. So I think this is great for people who are trying to branch out and do more video. Pay-per-click, Adwords Specialists, anyone that's supporting clients with pay-per-click, obviously it's a Google product, so you're going to have instant access to your Google AdWords data. Really simple, drag it in, create the visualization, send it to your clients, and again, show them how much value you're adding to their business. If you're a social media manager and you're responsible for, reporting to your clients on the work that you've done, on how you've increased their traffic through social media, again, this would be a great tool to set up a simple report showing the increase in traffic from Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, whatever it is that you're working on for your client. You can demonstrate that very easily within Google Data Studio. Web developers, designers, I think this would be a great add-on service you could provide for your clients. You get to the end of the project and you've built the website and you hand it over. Wouldn't it be nice to create a report for them that shows them how well that website is performing? And that's really going to set you apart from some of the other designers, that you've gone that extra step to help them grow their business, because fundamentally that's what the website really is there for. They want to know how much traffic they're getting, that people are converting, sales. So it'd be really easy for you to create a template that pulls all of those key metrics in, link it to their Google Analytics, which you've probably set up for them anyway, and they can then log into that with no effort on your part and see how well your website is performing for them. If you're into SEO or any kind of marketing, again, great tool for reporting back to your clients and showing how much value you've added to their business. So what are the positives about Google Data Studio? Well, for me, it's really easy to use. Again, it reminds me a lot of Microsoft Visio. If you've ever used that, you'll know what I mean when you first use Google Data Studio. It's very drag and drop. It's very similar, as I said, to the Google Drive platform, so you can have the same features. You're going to know how to navigate around. There's not too much of a learning curve there. It's really easy to share these reports as well. Obviously, being built on the Google Drive platform, it's got the same functionality. So you know how easy it is to share a Google Doc with a colleague, a VA, a client. It's the same with Google Data Studio. You just share the link or you add them via their email address. It couldn't be easier. The biggest benefit, I think, for me personally, is that Google Data Studio lets you import multiple data sources. So Google Analytics is great, but it relies on the tracking code on your website, and you only get information about that website that comes from that tracking code. What Google Data Studio gives you is all of that Google Analytics data, but then alongside it, you get your Google Search Console data, you get your YouTube data, your AdWords data, and then on top of that, all of those Google platforms, you get the ability to import files, import spreadsheets. So any data you can get into a spreadsheet, you can get into Google Data Studio. So that opens up things like email subscription lists, tools like Aweber, MailChimp, ConvertKit. You can extract analytics from those tools, bring it into Data Studio. Social media, so you can get your analytics from Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Bring that into Data Studio. So you've got all of this information in one place and you can put it into one dashboard. So you don't have to log into all the different places. You can just log into Data Studio and you've got everything you need to see in one place. The biggest benefit that I haven't mentioned yet is that it's free. What's not to love about that? We all love a free tool. So this isn't something you're gonna have to pay for every month. It's not a subscription. It's not even a one-off cost. This is absolutely free. What are some of the negatives? Every tool's got its pros and cons, so to be thorough and give you an honest appraisal of the tool, I think one of the negatives is probably that the data sources are limited mostly to Google platforms. So I've already mentioned that you can get data from YouTube, AdWords, Analytics, etc. And I did say that was a benefit, and I think it is. The reason I say it's a negative is that the built-in data sources are very Google specific. If you want anything from outside of that, you're going to have to do it via a spreadsheet. So things like Pinterest Analytics won't pull that directly from Pinterest. So what you'll need to do is export it from Pinterest into a spreadsheet, into a Google Sheet, and then from there you'll be able to pull it into Data Studio. So it's a little extra step, but once it's set up, it's really not that hard. It would be nicer, and the reason I say it's a negative, it would be nicer to be able to pull it directly and it would be less work. So that's the reason I mention it as a slight drawback. The other drawback I see at the moment is there's not the ability to export these reports to a PDF. Now, you might be asking, well, it's live, I want to log in and check it on the web so I can interact with it. I get that. The problem is, as you come to the end of a month, for instance, and the next month starts, all of those metrics and graphs are going to update themselves automatically. So if you want to keep a history of these things, it's nice to be able to export to PDF. So there's ways around that as well. You can just use your web browser, print PDF. That's possible. It would just be a bit easier, in my opinion, if there was an export to PDF button within the tool. In terms of setup, how easy is this to get going? Well, you're going to need a Google account, but I'm assuming most of you have probably got one of those already. As with all Google products, it's kind of one sign in. So once you're logged in, you go into Data Studio and then you've already got access to your YouTube channel, your Google Analytics, your Search Console, whatever it might be. If you've got access to a Google product, it will be there for you in Data Studio. There's obviously then the setup of the dashboard or the report itself, and there's two ways you can do this. You can start with a blank canvas and you can drag and drop the different widgets that you want, whether it's a bar chart, a pie chart, a table, a geographic map. There's all sorts of visualizations in there to use, and you can design that from scratch how you want it. There are also templates, so you can just use a template. switch the data source and it will pull your data source into that template. So that's a quicker way to do it. Once your reports are set up, every time you log in, they're going to update based on the real-time information from your data sources and give you the latest information that you need. If you wanted to do this for multiple clients, once you've created one report, it's really easy to then duplicate that, change the data source, so you can go from client A's analytics to client B's analytics without, repeating all of the work. Hopefully in this video I've given you a good overview of Google Data Studio, what it is, why I use it, why I think you're going to love it. I really think you can get some good value out of this. I do encourage you to go and try it. It is a free tool, it's not going to cost you anything other than your time. Now, if you're too busy, I would love to help. This is something I offer. I can help you with a one-time setup, get you going, or I can also help you with monthly reports where I'm sort of a part-time member of your team. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then check out my website at alistairgill.com.